Welcome to the See Through It podcast. I'm your host, Brian Sells. Thank you guys for tuning in on this Friday. As you see, we are doing Decade Sports Talk, and I got a special guest, Mr. JB himself, Mr. Sports
What's
Talk.
happening?
How you doing,
Sports
sir?
talking with JB.
You see
Y'all
it?
see that? Yeah, yeah,
we got
yeah.
him. We got him on here
Live.
tonight. He's a Lakers fan, uh, LeBron
Alabama
James,
fan.
Bama fan, most
Yeah. First
most
of all,
definitely.
LeBron fan. LeBron fan.
LeBron
Yeah.
fan, Bama
Lakers, but
fan.
yeah, I rock with the Lakers. I rock with
So
them all.
this show is gonna be very interesting. With like I said, doing decade. I've been wanting to do this for since
Yes,
the
sir.
decade ended. So this is gonna be interesting. But before we get into all that, let me run through the promos like I always do. Like I
Yeah.
said, you can contact me through Instagram, see through it underscore podcast. Also, you see it up there. Subscribe to the channel, YouTube. Subscribe to the channel. If you are watching from YouTube, please subscribe to the channel. Hit that like button. Comment, join the conversation. Facebook.com/STIPODCAST. Like and share. You can contact me through see through it podcast at gmail.com for any more information on anything that I am doing. Hello, people. Thank you for tuning in. Also, my if you want to donate to the podcast, or purchase any items, coffee mugs, hoodies, t-shirts, blah, 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 paypal.me/see through it. Um, so all that stuff is greatly appreciated. So it is January. What is it? The third?
The third, yeah,
The
man.
third. January the
Them
third.
few days went by fast, bro.
It definitely went by fast. How your new year going?
Man, it's going, man. It's going.
It's
Trying to
going.
get back on track. When the holiday fall in the middle of the week,
Yeah.
it don't feel right. But the weekend coming up, and Monday's gonna actually feel like a Monday this
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
it's
Uh,
crazy.
Alabama just finished off Michigan. We
Yeah,
needed that.
we sure did. Sure did.
We definitely
Yeah.
needed that. The campaign, revenge campaign starts 2020. I hope all you college football fans are aware, and you better get ready. I
Hashtag unfinished business. That's what we doing.
unfinished business.
Yes,
Alabama is
sir.
coming. We're still waiting on the decision from Tua, but I believe that Mac Jones is good enough to get us to the promised land. How do you feel
Yeah,
about that?
yeah, man. I feel like any other quarterbacks. Remember, we won a championship with Jake Coker. With Jake Coker at quarterback coming in one year, won a championship.
We can
We
go.
got to the playoff with Blake Sims.
Yeah, I mean, we can even go back to Greg McElroy and
Greg McElroy,
yeah, that
game
man.
manager, baby, game manager of the decade.
I think we need to ban him from anything related to Alabama. The way he talks and
Oh,
represent the state in the
it,
school
it
is unreal.
it made me think that Saban he got a vendetta or something. Man. I don't know what's up with Greg McElroy, but you
Something wrong
know
with him. Something
it's
is.
it's, it's the Bama fatigue, dog.
Is he
They
tired of
tired of seeing
Alabama
us.
too?
I think all of them, man. I think look, man, I've been seeing Tim Tebow praise us more than any
Yeah,
other guys, and
and I mean,
Tebow was a rival.
yeah, I mean, we had him on the sidelines crying a couple of times. So it's
I
just weird
know
to
it.
see
I
him
know it.
back in Alabama and Greg McElroy constantly throwing stones at the throne. Like it's like he doesn't know.
Yeah.
Like he
I
doesn't know.
man, that's rat poison, man. That's what we call that,
That
man.
is the rat poison that
We
we are
call it
talking
rat
about.
poison, man.
Uh,
Yeah.
I think I forgot to let the people know to follow JB. You see his Twitter feed at
Yeah,
Sports
it's up
Talk
there.
JB and at Young ENT. Follow him on
Right.
Twitter. He has his podcast also. Tell us what do you cover on your show?
All right. I started off sports talking with JB. I just finished my first season, 25 episodes. We did based on Alabama football during the season. And we talked about everything: football, basketball, the main sports. So, and we're gonna crank it back up pretty soon. We just finished the season off a few weeks ago. I'm gonna crank back up for season two. We're gonna do a live podcast. I was doing my road show podcast at the Brian Denny Stadium
Yeah,
on the
I
campus.
remember seeing that.
Yeah, before the game. So I did those two because I attended every home game of Alabama.
Oh, okay.
Just being a loyal fan, I really did it because I'm a fan. I'm a big fan, and I just started doing it for fun.
Yeah,
And people they started following it. It started picking up steam. So I'm like, man, you know what? I like doing this. I like this.
mm, that's tight.
Cool.
That's tight when
Yeah,
you get
yeah,
some supporters to be behind what you're doing. That's
that's
always
right.
awesome.
And like you reached out to me, man. I appreciate that, man. People always reaching out, and you know, I ain't turning nobody down because
Yeah,
I love to talk about sports. We can
yeah,
do this all day long.
yeah. Well,
I mean, all day long. I do it anyway. Me and my partners, we sit around and talk about sports anyway.
that's
So
fantastic. I
yeah,
definitely appreciate you replying, especially at the short notice that I gave you.
yeah,
I was
man,
thinking
yeah,
about it for a minute, but so much was going on in the world and so much is
right,
going on,
right.
so it
Still
totally slipped
going
my
on, always,
something always going
always,
on.
man. They
So
talking about World War III. I like, what is this on my Twitter time?
so I definitely
Oh
appreciate you
man,
doing this show with me. So without any further ado, let's go ahead and get into this decade talk. Decade
yeah,
talk. I want to start it off with the college basketball because I feel like it's not even a real thing to like college basketball. College basketball. I like college
right,
basketball sometimes.
yeah.
I feel
Some
like the game
me
is,
too.
yeah,
Sometimes,
it's not really developed because you get a lot of kids in there that can't shoot. They don't know the system yet. And
right,
you get every now and then you get those high school players that are just elite and they just run around. The coaches don't really draw up plays. They just run around on the court doing what they do. So it's kind
right.
of hard to keep up with college basketball. But I feel like the most dominating, like I'm gonna just split it in half. The country,
Mm-hmm.
the college basketball belongs on the East Coast. It's dominated college basketball for a very like all the way back to 2008. Kansas was the last team to win the
Right.
college basketball championship. Like all the teams have come from the ACC, Big East. Uh, I think I got the American Conference. I feel like college basketball belongs on the East Coast. Gonzaga, they do what they do on the West Coast, but when it
But they
comes
don't
to,
win
they
nothing.
don't win nothing.
They win a whole lot of games, but they ain't got no championship to show
No
for it.
championships,
Right.
and
But
people.
but see, don't leave out Kentucky because they represent the Southeastern Conference.
Well, yeah. So I guess I would split it like so everyone Mississippi River over. So that would
Yeah,
be my
I got you.
East, and then everyone west of the Mississippi River.
Right.
That's it. And I mean, the West hasn't been relevant in college basketball since UCLA.
Pretty much. Pretty much.
Uh,
Ain't
I
nothing off that West, man. They
it,
have they moments. They'll get a team that make it, a little Cinderella run, but they not they ain't nowhere near with what you saying about the East
yeah,
and even the Southeast.
yeah,
Pretty much Southeast. Southeast
yep.
is
Because that was
ruling college basketball.
since with Florida and
Yeah,
North
Florida got
Carolina,
them. They
South.
got them one.
You, I mean, it's college basketball. They talk about the parity, but I don't believe there's parity in college basketball. I believe
No,
it's only on
no.
one side of the country,
It, it,
and
it pretty much is.
so for the
You
past
really look at all. I mean, you really look at it that way.
is all on one side of the country. So for the past 10 years, college basketball has lived and grown on the east of the Mississippi River. So when
Right.
so when March Madness breaks out and you're filling out your brackets, here's a quick little tip: don't pick
Mhm.
anyone from the West.
No.
Don't pick anyone from the West. Is that I mean don't put Gonzaga in there. Don't do it. You're gonna lose. It's gonna
Right.
be
And
someone
then
from the East.
Gonzaga, did they lose to Florida State or something like that last year?
I believe was it Florida State or Texas? It's one of them two.
Texas.
They didn't do very good, and it
Right.
does that
Right.
every year. So that's the little spew on college basketball. Let's go ahead and get into our college football.
Oh yeah.
College football. I mean, we both are Alabama fans. We're not gonna sugarcoat it. We're
Yeah.
not gonna sugarcoat it. The best.
I I I I put that disclaimer out there. I'm very biased about Alabama. Look at my background. This is all Alabama. Football, basketball. Yeah. I mean, man,
Oh snap! You there? Okay.
they call fan day. You
Oh, I
know
see that.
how we have A day, we have
Mm-hmm.
fan day. Autograph. This is probably half of the team autograph this football. So
Mm.
I'm gonna keep this. I was gonna do a giveaway, but now I'm keeping this for myself. I can't get this one away. I might do one next year. But yeah. Let's
Yes,
roll. Let's talk about it. College football. Yes,
college
sir.
football. I have the SEC been the most dominant conference in college football for the past 10 years. I mean, we look at the
Yeah.
stats and the numbers of just NFL players from the SEC. It's crazy. And some people like to talk about the O lines, and there was a tweet out. I think Notre Dame tweeted out something about they have 3 players that's on All Pro NFL first team or something like that. My question was, where are the
Okay.
skill position players? Like, it's nice that you have
Right.
the O line, but it wasn't even D line; it was O line. Where are your skill
Right.
position players? Like that. That's awesome that you have. They were very excited about the only 3 being up there, but where's your skill players? And
Right.
all the skill players come from the SEC.
No knock on the O line because you need the
I
O
mean, you
line to
need the O line.
protect. Yeah, to protect the quarterback and block for the skill players and all that. But come on, man.
Yeah,
It, we watch football for the skill players. We don't watch them for the offensive line. We
absolutely.
don't watch football and say, "Oh man, look, did you see that pancake block? Did you see him?" We looking at holding. We looking at the offensive line holding. That's what we doing because it's a lot of holding going on.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
other than that, it's all about the skill players, man.
Let me see. Let me hold on,
So I,
JB.
I
Uh,
get what you saying, bro.
Hold on. Let me see. Some of the people
Okay.
are saying they can't see YouTube for some reason. I'm sorry about that. I don't know what's going on with YouTube if it's acting up. But once this show is over, I'll post it as soon as the show is over, and YouTube allows me to reload it up onto YouTube. So maybe try Facebook or Twitter or Periscope or whatever. But I'm not sure if YouTube is just having a bad moment. But as soon as the show is over and I'm able to repost, I will repost the show. So thank you for tuning in
We
anyway,
live.
though.
We live on Twitter right now.
We should be definitely live on Twitter
Let me
right now.
repost it then. Let me repost it on for my people.
Should be up there on Facebook and Twitter and YouTube. So,
All right. I need to repost it. Okay. All right. We good to go then,
all
bro.
right, okay, YouTube. Okay, some people. Oh, all right. Thank you, Bama Bo, for clarifying that. She said is fine. It is good to go, but we will continue on. So I have the SEC as been number one. I didn't really do what you. Let me hear your top 5 that you have for college football. Let me hear your top 5.
Conferences for the conference.
Oh yeah, I mean you can do conferences or teams. I would just. I mean we all know Alabama's number one. I don't.
Well, Alabama number one,
No
and I got to
Alabama.
get Clemson some love too because
Clemson's.
they did. Yeah, so they'll be number two. But if you look at it besides number one and number two, you can go either way. I had a hard time putting Georgia up there because they haven't won anything.
Mm-hmm.
They've been contending for the past few years, but they haven't won anything. And I'm trying to think of who won championships besides Alabama and Clemson because that's really what you think of when you
Right.
think about college football today. You think about Alabama, Clemson, LSU. They coming along now. Georgia's been coming along. Auburn had their little piece of the pie.
Yeah.
Didn't Ohio State win one?
Ohio State got one. So
Yeah,
if
they
we're
they
if we
got one.
if we're looking at the past 10 years,
Right,
the state of Alabama has been there since 2010. Auburn won
right,
one in 2010. Alabama won 11, 12, 15, and 17.
right.
I mean that's a lot of
That's
football, and
dominance, and
that's
yeah,
dominance. That's the conference dominating, and people can say that's being SEC bias or Alabama bias, but I mean
it's really not,
the
man.
numbers don't
We're just
lie.
keeping it
I
100.
mean,
We're just keeping it 100. If
if
you think about it, look at the top 5 teams in the SEC over the past few years. You got Bama, Georgia, LSU, what, Auburn and Florida.
yeah, yeah, I mean you could, yeah.
Am I missing something? Yeah.
Yeah,
I
I
mean,
wouldn't throw Texas A&M up there. I
no,
was
not yet, not yet.
I was trying to start a petition to get them kicked out for losing the if they had lost the bowl game and get them replaced with Oklahoma because I'm not a believer in Texas A&M at all. Uh,
Yeah.
um,
I mean, no, they had their little run with Johnny Football, and that little excitement. It kind of died down a little bit. So
do you see someone wants Bama Bowl wants your Twitter feed? It's right there in the up above
yeah, it's
his.
right there, Bama Bo. I follow Bama Bo. Yeah, I rock with Bama Bo.
It was right
Yes, sir.
above his hat at Sports Talk
Both of them.
JB and at Young ENT,
Young underscore ENT underscore.
Young
That's my
underscore
personal
ENT.
one.
That's his personal
And
one.
yeah, the Sports Talk JB. That's but I control both pages.
There we go. So there's his Twitter feed. Yeah. So I wrote down some numbers.
Right.
Because people like to they don't really like opinions. They like numbers. They like to throw
They
numbers up in
want
your face.
facts.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
want the facts and they want the numbers. So Alabama is at 90% win. They have won 90% of their games with
Mm,
127 wins. They were, I think, two away from or one away. No, they tied the record for the decade for most wins in a 10-year
right.
season. 10 years. Ohio State is number two at like 78. Clemson is number three. Boise State is number four. Oklahoma is number five. Stanford's number six. Wisconsin 7, LSU 8, Oregon's 9, and 10 is Florida State, who we broke.
Right.
So I mean,
Mm-hmm.
the teams that I just went through in the top 10, you can see they've been there, but they haven't been there. Stanford, they're number 6. The inconsistency.
Right.
You have to look at the consistency of
They
this.
haven't been to the playoffs. Look at the teams who've been to the playoffs. Bama's been consistently there, even though what happened this year. But we talk about from the decade,
Mm-hmm.
even before the playoffs even started, with just the AP.
Yeah, Alabama
You
has been
know,
there. They've always been in that conversation. They've been in that
always.
conversation. Like Nick Saban said, some teams would be happy with a 10-2 or 11 and whatever. We're looking at
Yeah.
championship or bust.
We don't want no two behind our
We
in
don't
our
like the
L
two.
count. We'll deal with one
We'll deal with the
because
one.
that means either we got there and we lost, or we made it despite that one loss.
Yeah.
Because we
So
don't want championships with one loss.
yeah,
But
absolutely.
I don't want no more losses coming up 2020. We taking it all next year.
I believe that is the case. I believe that is the case. So I like I said, the most dominant team in college football has to be Alabama.
Right.
If you can't even if you are a sports person or a talking head in football and you don't have Alabama either one or two, and I don't even understand how you can justify putting them two, but if you don't have them number one, then you are biased, and
Yeah.
you, my friend, hate Alabama.
Not us. We not the bias one. We keeping it 100.
Keeping
See,
it
I gave Clemson
100.
love. I gave them number two.
Yeah,
Could have been Ohio State, but
especially with Clemson playing in that horrible conference.
oh man, come on now.
What else can you do? But I mean,
Right.
Alabama has to be number one, and a lot of these talking heads they have to say no. Alabama is number one. I can maybe give you some leeway for number two, but again, you can't drop them below number two. So
Right.
that's what I got for who. So did you have a top 5 for college football? Your teams?
No, man. College football? No, Bama.
Yep. Okay. Bama.
I mean, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5.
There
So we
we
got
go.
5 of them things. I mean, come on now.
Yeah.
Bama. But I get Clemson some love.
Yeah. Clemson.
Yeah.
I can
Just
definitely
off the
see that.
strength. Off the strength.
And off of what they have done recently, I can definitely agree with that. Like I said, football belongs in the South. Football
That's right.
is king in the South. I don't care how
Right.
you spin it. I know there's a Big Ten. I know there's a ACC, a Pac-12, and all of that.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, if we look at the numbers for all the number heads out there, if you look at the numbers, the championships belong. They come through the South.
And numbers don't lie.
The numbers don't lie.
They don't lie.
They
And to
don't lie.
piggyback on what you said, we broke Florida State. Remember that?
Broke Florida State.
Yeah,
Ain't
Florida
been the
State
same.
coming in the season. They was ranked number 2, number 3,
Number 2, number 3.
and we broke them. They
They
ain't recovered from that at all.
ain't found their way since then.
Right.
And have not found their way. Jimbo Fisher left the school and he's still looking for a winning season.
Right.
I mean, we broke Florida State.
Not to brag on all that, but we better start talking about Bama football because you know how the haters gonna be. Y'all only talk about Bama. You damn right I only talk about Bama. But I talk about more than Bama.
Well, like I
I'm
said,
a Bama boy. Come on, man. Born and raised.
Yep, me too. Like I said, it's decade talk. And I mean, we're talking about the past 10 years. I can't justify talking about another school if they haven't done anything in those 10 years. I'm not talking about showing up for a year and disappearing for 3 years and then showing up again. No, I'm talking about consistency.
Like Auburn.
Auburn.
Like Auburn. Yeah.
Definitely like Auburn. So Well, let's go ahead and chug along then. So let's go ahead and talk about some NBA. One of your favorites.
Mm-hmm.
We got King James. The only thing I didn't like about LeBron James was that he anointed or his people around him. It was a great PR scheme, great
Oh yeah,
marketing to name him King James before he even got drafted. I mean,
the
that was
chosen one. The
it was
chosen one.
the chosen one. It was genius. I can't deny that was if I would have did the same thing. I would
Yeah.
have did the same thing. I can't
King
hate on
James
him for
version
that.
of the Bible, the King James version.
I can't say that I wouldn't have done the same thing. That was pure genius. And I
Yeah.
think with him doing that, got rocked. We got rocked to sleep and allowed him to take the number one spot without even realizing Kobe Bryant was still in the league. Kobe
Yeah.
Bryant was still that dude.
He was. He was.
It was still that
He
dude.
was. Nope. And
Uh,
Kobe won 2 chips
yeah,
without Shaq.
yeah. So
Without
if
Shaq.
I think that's one of the knocks I have against LeBron. Like they just gave him that title and he ran away with it.
But
Um,
he bagged it up.
he did. He did. I'm not gonna lie. He has
Especially
done
this decade
some.
right here.
He has done some
Right.
great things in the NBA community wide. Like he's a very good player. But my if I had it my way, and if I could
Right.
mess with the numbers, I would say KD is the best player in the decade. But he's not. I'm gonna have to give it to LeBron. I'm gonna have to say LeBron is the decade's best.
But you know why I give it to LeBron?
Why?
Because you remember when he was in the Heat, with the Heat, they played OKC,
Uh huh.
KD, Harden, Westbrook, that whole team they had right there. Blew them out the finals.
Yeah.
4-1, gentleman sweep.
Yeah.
And KD had to link up with the Warriors to get his 2 chips.
I
I
agree.
mean, KD, good player. He's a good player,
Uh huh.
a great player. I'm not, no shade on KD, but he had to link up with Steph Curry and them to get a 2 ring. Man, that's all I got to say.
I
I mean, it is what it is. I see where you coming from, though. I see because can't nobody 7 feet shoot, handle the ball, and do what KD do. LeBron can't do what KD do, but KD can't do what LeBron do.
right. Yeah. The games are totally different.
Totally different
Their
games.
games are
Totally different
totally.
games.
LeBron plays a bully game. He's
Mm-hmm.
gonna make you get out of his way, and KD can finesse you from the field and
Right.
just snipe his way to 40 points easily. I do agree with him jumping on the Golden State Warriors team and getting his championship. I wish he would have done it a different way,
Right,
but
right. And people gloss over that because they were up 3-1. Him and Westbrook were up 3-1 on Golden State.
and they could have, yeah.
And they let Golden State come back and beat them. The same year LeBron was down 3-1 with that Golden State team
Hmm.
and came back and beat them.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
that is very tough. He'll never be able to live that down. So
No.
for this decade, if KD can come back for the upcoming decade, I don't believe he'll play another 10 years. But if he can
He got
somehow,
about five,
he
six
got about
more in
five
him,
or
I think.
six.
Yeah.
I
Good
believe
ones.
if he and Kyrie can really sink it in and gel well together, maybe they can bring a championship to Brooklyn, and
You
that
think so, man?
maybe I don't know. I know. I mean, Kyrie is is something else.
Kyrie a dog, man. Kyrie a dog. But he would LeBron made him have that championship mentality because before LeBron got there, KD put up not KD, Kyrie put up all these numbers
Hmm.
on losing teams.
Yeah.
Team was in the lottery every year before LeBron got there.
Hmm.
Soon as LeBron stepped foot, championship contender. They in the final 4 years in a row.
Yeah.
That's why I say LeBron, hands down, he ran the decade.
I can.
8 straight finals,
Yeah. I can. I mean, you can't. You can't. You would have to be
three
crazy.
rings.
You would have to
Yeah.
be crazy to
Yeah.
deny how great
Can't deny it,
LeBron
no. You really can't.
LeBron has
You
been
know,
in the NBA for the past 10 years. But like I said, like I wish KD was that guy, but he is. If my top five for the decade, I'm gonna go LeBron, KD, Curry, and you can flip Curry and KD, but I'm gonna go KD because I feel like he
I
was the.
did.
You see what I'm saying? So I'm gonna
Yeah,
go
yeah.
LeBron, KD, Curry, Kawhi Leonard is on his way, and I'm gonna put Giannis above James Harden. I'm gonna put Giannis
Oh
Antetokounmpo
man.
right there because he. I mean,
We,
again, he's almost like LeBron. He can't be stopped physically. He is a bully running down
right,
the court.
right,
James
right.
Harden game is different from Giannis. So when it comes to it, I, I'm leaning towards, and I like the shooting aspect. I like team. I like players that can shoot the ball. I like.
Right.
I don't like people that be bullying people in the paint. Like
Yeah,
Shaq,
I
that
mean
used
that's
to make
old
me
school. That's
mad.
old. But see, you just made my argument for Steph Curry being right behind LeBron because he changed the whole style of play with him coming in shooting from 30 feet. He got all these kids want to shoot. Um, they all shooting threes, all
Mm-hmm.
of them, and that's like the new thing. So you know, Curry kind of evolved this basketball thing to what it's been this whole decade. He
Mm-hmm.
got LeBron stepping out from 30 feet shooting threes.
Yeah.
LeBron ain't been doing that.
Yeah.
So, and it, so
They've all changed the
I feel you
game.
about KD. I feel you about KD, but I don't know. I don't even like Curry like that, dog. But I got respect. I got respect him though. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
it is what it is.
So who's your five? Who's your five
My five:
for the decade?
Bron, Curry, KD. I got James Harden at 4, and I got Kawhi at 5.
Oh, okay.
Kawhi snuck in because what he did last year with Toronto.
Okay.
When you win a championship for a team who never won a championship, that mean a lot. That mean a lot. You know what I mean? It wasn't up to the multitude that LeBron did it for Cleveland,
Mm-hmm.
but they did it. He
Yeah.
even though they beat a broke down Golden State team.
Yeah.
I mean, he got the job done. He beat
He
he
did get the
beat
job
Giannis.
done. He
Yeah,
did.
they beat Giannis. He
They
shut
did. Yeah,
Giannis
he
down.
did. He shut him down.
So
He put him
so
on
I got I
lockdown.
got to give Kawhi. Then Kawhi got a championship with the Spurs
Yep.
back in what 2013,
Was it
something like that.
13, 14, somewhere around there?
One of those years, 14, I think. The last year LeBron was in Cleveland.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, in Miami.
Yep.
Last year he was in Miami. They won.
Yep.
So yeah. And Harden don't have a ring, but Harden he really changing the game too because he's got that one on one. James Harden can't be stopped one on one. He
No.
can't be stopped one on one. I don't like James Harden just for the simple fact that if you watching their game, I only like to watch Houston because they shoot free throws all the time.
Yeah.
Cause I mean,
That
but
is.
you gotta respect the man. He averaging 38 points a game and winning scoring titles and all that. But sooner or later, he got to win a chip, man.
Yeah.
Sooner or later, he got to win something.
He's definitely doing it differently. I remember growing up watching Michael Jordan, and they didn't really take threes back then. So Michael had to go through the
Right,
paint and get beat
right.
on. He had to hit that turnaround fade. He had to be crafty. He hit you with the jab step. He had to be crafty. Uh, James is just coming down the court, pulling up from 40 feet, 30,
Exactly.
and
If he ain't pulling up from 30 feet, he driving to the lane, getting a
and
foul
they
call,
fouling him left and right. So
and he making his free throws.
it's a different league. It is very different. But yeah, I like that top five though. I
Yeah,
like that
I
top
mean,
five. I
I
don't really have an issue with that.
it could have went Kawhi then Harden. If we were talking championships, I got to put Kawhi above Harden because Harden don't have one.
Mm-hmm.
Kawhi got a ring.
Right.
KD got a couple rings. So if we talking rings, then I would throw Kawhi over James Harden.
Right. Okay.
So yeah.
I agree with that. So who's the most dominant team in the NBA decade wise?
Oh man, Warriors.
Warriors. I was
Warriors.
leaning that way.
Warriors.
But I mean, they won 73 games,
and LeBron beat them.
and then LeBron beat them. So,
but see, they been to the finals. But see, if you want, LeBron is more dominant than any team that's been in the past decade because he took two different teams.
He took two different
four
teams.
times in a row.
So we're just gonna say Team LeBron then.
Team LeBron.
Team LeBron.
Yep. Team LeBron.
Team LeBron, the
Let
most
me give it to him.
dominant
Come on
team
now.
in the decade. Team LeBron here in the NBA, the most dominant team in the decade.
Yes,
Just
sir.
throwing that
I
out.
mean, come on, man.
Just,
It's either him or Golden State.
just throwing that out there. I mean, I don't disagree. Like you said, he took two different teams to the finals. Miami,
Yeah.
Cleveland. I mean, we still have to see what he does with the Lakers, but and he took two different teams for 4 years each. So that's If that's not dominance, then I don't know what is.
And I'm gonna give you some extra. The
What's up?
most, the best moment in sports over the past decade was that 2016 finals. LeBron won coming back from 3-1. You got
Yeah,
to get at the
yeah,
moment of the
yeah.
decade.
That was the
You got to
moment.
get at the moment of
I
the
do
decade.
like that.
Cause man, come on, man, down 3-1, and you
Matter
come
of,
back and win it for Cleveland, who ain't won nothing in 52 years.
yeah, I'm a matter of fact. Before we gonna get to that after we jump on this NFL, let's go ahead and roll right into the NFL. I know
Right?
you like the Patriots. I
Yeah,
like
yeah,
you like the
yeah.
Patriots, and I'm a Jets fan. So
Oh man,
it's
feel bad for me.
it's
I mean,
it's rough out here.
it is what it is with the Jets, man. You get what you get. You get what you get
You
with the
get
Jets,
what you
dog.
yeah. I was having a conversation with myself, and I was looking at the ESPN while they was talking about the NFL playoff teams, and I was like, man, why am I a Jets fan? I've had this conversation before. I've had this conversation before. I remember watching them. Green has always been my favorite color.
Yeah.
So I grew up watching them. I grew up watching them and the Cowboys.
Oh,
But I lean more towards the Jets because of the green, Curtis Martin, Vinny Testaverde, and all them.
yeah. Yeah.
I could have easily jumped on the Dallas Cowboys when I was younger. Dallas Cowboys was in the Super Bowl every year. I mean, they was
Uh,
smashing the
But
Buffalo Bills
but
every
you know
year.
what?
So
That's why I don't like the
that's
Cowboys.
why you don't like the
I,
Cowboys.
I never liked the I hate the Cowboys, man. I never liked the Cowboys. Never liked the Cowboys. I was a 49ers fan when I was small,
Oh,
growing
okay.
up. They had Joe Montana, Jerry
Mm-hmm.
Rice
Yeah.
in that little era. I was young, so I'll go with, 49. But I've been a Patriots fan since before Tom Brady took a start and they had Drew
Drew
Bledsoe.
Bledsoe. That was
Yeah,
my
they had
that
Drew
was my
Bledsoe.
dude.
They had Curtis Martin too. Remember
Yep.
they had Curtis
Yeah.
Martin?
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Drew Bledsoe. Yeah. I did like watching the Patriots when I was younger. Drew Bledsoe and Ben Coates as the tight end. Curtis Martin.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
That was a good team to watch. But I became a Jets fan, and now I'm suffering it. I'm going to suffer for I don't know how long.
Can't get no worse, man.
It, I mean, they gave.
It can't get no
I
worse.
thought Le'Veon Bell was going to at least have us at 500, but I
Man,
mean,
y'all got to get rid of Le'Veon,
it's
man.
time to get rid of him. It is.
Yeah, it's time to get rid of Le'Veon. Y'all tried.
We tried. We gave him tons of money, and it still didn't work out. He was out there bowling when he should have been playing football. But
Yeah, and,
hey,
and you know what? Y'all better be careful. Don't lose Jamal Adams either.
Jamal Adams or Big Quinn
Yeah.
Williams.
Oh yeah. I
Can't
mean,
can't
y'all
can't
got
lose
Big
that.
Q down there, man.
We got him. Can't lose him. So who's your let's see, quarterback of the decade? Let's go quarterback of the decade.
Brady,
Brady, of
the
course.
goat, the goat. I got top five. I got a top five.
We're going here and shoot it. Shoot it.
Top five. It was kind of hard to do. We think about the last 10 years, man.
Mm-hmm.
But Brady number one for obvious reasons.
Mm-hmm.
I got Drew Brees at number two, man. I got Drew Brees,
Wow.
and you. I mean, he
Wow.
got Drew Brees won a Super Bowl at 2010.
What do
Wasn't that the
you,
year they won a Super Bowl?
was that the year? I
Was that
can't
the year they
even.
won?
They had to play the Colts. Was that?
They played the Colts. They played Peyton Manning. Or was it 20? Got to go back. I think they won a Super Bowl in this decade.
I gotta see that.
I think so, man. I mean, I know the Patriots got a lot of them, but and Aaron Rodgers got one too. I think they beat. It may have been 2010, 2011 when Aaron Rodgers got his.
Right. Right. That
But
was 2010.
yeah, 2010.
Holy Mac. Yeah, they
Yeah,
started. They so
and
okay.
just broke the touchdown record this year. He's been consistent every year. Drew Brees, if Brady's GOAT number one, Drew Brees GOAT number two. My opinion.
So, okay, so you got Brady one, Drew Brees two.
I got Brees two.
Who's three?
I got Aaron Rodgers at three.
Aaron Rodgers at three.
Got him at three. Now number 4 and 5, I got off the quarterbacks. I got J.J. Watt at number 4. J.J. Watt, he won Defensive Player of the Year like 3 or 4 times in the decade.
Okay.
J.J. Watt, I mean,
JJ Watt.
dominant. Yeah. And 5, I got Julio Jones at 5.
Oh, okay. I see what you did.
You
Okay,
know,
I see what you did.
yeah, I didn't want to
I
put
see.
five quarterbacks.
Yeah,
I
I
wanted to
see.
give and Julio. If you think about it, when Julio got in the league, ever since he got to the league to now, he's always been in the conversation of best receiver. When you talking about top five receivers, Julio Jones always been in that conversation consistently.
Yeah,
I know people talk about Antonio Brown probably would have been in there, but he been acting a fool.
been
So I
acting,
had to disqualify Antonio Brown.
been acting a fool.
Yeah. But Julio been consistent, man. He ain't caused no trouble. He ain't
Hmm.
heard nothing bad about Julio. He been consistently putting up 1,000 yard receiving years. And just he put it all on the field. Julio playing injured. So I got to give it to Julio, man.
Okay.
And he from Bama.
Yeah, he is from Bama. So I'm gonna go with. Well, now I'm gonna have to shake it up then, since you. I mean, you threw in some doing some defensive players and a wide receiver. I'm gonna go. I had. Oh man, now you're making me rethink it.
No,
Ah,
I mean, go with what you had. Go with what you had. I mean, I just
okay.
couldn't think of no other quarterback.
Okay, so I'm gonna go Tom Brady, right? Because
Right.
I mean, the championship. I mean, he showed us a picture with each finger having a ring on it. How can you not say he's number
And I think the
one?
thumb had two rings on it because he
He got the championships. And then I'm gonna go Aaron Rodgers. If he's had any type of help,
that bad man.
he's a
That
bad
bad
man.
man.
I mean,
Yeah.
you watching his games and the team is down, and you see him on the sideline, just he's calm, and he's like, just give me the ball, put the ball
Right.
back in my hands. I'm not worried
He
about it.
get the job
He
done
get the
now, but
job done. Um, and it is just crazy because you look at Tom Brady and you're like, well, Tom Brady ain't really had no superstars besides
no.
Gronk and
Besides Graham.
the little wide receivers, but and he still gets there. So
Right.
how does Aaron Rodgers not have how have they not met up in the Super Bowl many
But you know
times?
what? Coaching got a lot to do with that.
Coaching is the
Coaching
key.
got a lot to do with that. And
Coaching
the
is
defense.
yeah. He's never had a real solid defense.
He got one this year. You think they're gonna do it this year?
He's a bad man.
I
That's
put
a
you on the spot with that one.
he's a
I put
bad
you on the
man.
spot.
I mean, him
I don't
and
see it either, man.
Drew Brees, and I got Drew Brees number three. Uh, Drew Brees is a stat line walking. Like
Yeah.
he fills
Yeah.
up the stats. Like it's insane. Um, so he's number three. I feel like maybe the Saints. I thought they were done when he got injured. Teddy,
Right.
was it
And you
Teddy
think they
came?
kept on
Yeah, they
pushing.
kept on pushing.
Teddy kept their head above water, man.
Kept them, and the
He
defense is
did.
solid. I mean, the Saints haven't had a defense. Those were the years that Drew Brees was like killing the league, but the defense couldn't keep him in games.
Right. Right.
So I got Drew Brees three, and then four and five. I didn't really have no. I didn't even have anything listed for four and five because I just left it blank. I
You
feel
see
like
how hard it
it's
is? You
hard
see?
because there's a immediate drop off because everyone get caught up in the new era of quarterbacks with Patrick and Lamar. They just got
Right.
here. I need to see
Yeah,
5 years.
they just got here. I
They just
couldn't
got
put them in. They only been rocking for like 2 years.
exactly. I need to see
I
more
couldn't
than
put them
two
in.
years. I need to see
And I
five.
thought about Peyton Manning, but Peyton Manning had that injury and he
He
fell
fell
off.
off.
Peyton
Like
Manning fell
he
off
fell
bad.
off
When they
bad
won a
because
Super Bowl, it wasn't even his.
it wasn't him.
He was just there.
It was just
He was just
there.
behind center. Be honest with you. Rock
Uh,
Oswald won half of the games that year.
well, I mean, let me see. We got the decade, so I guess I could put Peyton Manning at four because he did do what he did, and then number
Yeah.
five. I mean, I don't even know. I could go Julio. He's been very
Yeah.
consistent. I could go. I can't. I don't really know of a running back to put in there because running backs don't last
Right.
for 10 years.
They don't.
The
They
the
don't.
systems always are changing. So and there's no defensive player that has. I mean, J.J. Watt. You're right, J.J. Watt, the only one who's been consistently
Yeah.
dominating.
be
Besides
consistent like that.
his
If he's
injuries,
not injured, he's leading the league in probably sacks
yeah,
or something like that.
he
If
is.
he's not injured.
You got a game plan for him. I mean, you
Yeah, you
got
could
to.
have put Gronk in there, but Gronk had a whole lot of injuries too.
You could put a Gronk in there.
Because Gronk has been the most dominant tight end over the decade.
Yeah, you
But
definitely.
he missed a couple years and missed a lot of games.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason I didn't put him in is because we won a Super Bowl in Atlanta against Atlanta
Mm-hmm.
without Gronk.
Yeah.
We won the Super Bowl
Yeah.
against Atlanta.
So I can.
So that's why I left Gronk off. I love Gronk, but that's why I left him off.
So that's I'm gonna go with my all decade for the. I gave you my three quarterbacks. Well, four. Peyton Manning.
Mm-hmm.
He got two
I
championships.
respect that. I respect it.
Yeah, and I mean he did get slapped when they played Seattle in that game, but he
Oh
been to the Super
yeah.
Bowl.
Oh
He been
yeah.
to the Super Bowl multiple times. You can't doubt.
What you
You
think
can't
about
knock
Cam
that.
Newton? Cam Newton went to the Super Bowl too now.
He went one though.
He won an MVP too.
He did win the MVP and then disappeared.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right.
he
You're right.
won
You got me with that.
the he won the
But you're
MVP.
right. I can't think of no other quarterback. Russell Wilson could be in there.
I mean, he been in the league for
He
what?
could. He got one.
How many years he been? 6, 7, 8. You could Russell Wilson
About,
could be number 4,
he
number
could
5.
be there. He
I can
could
see
be there.
that. Okay,
Yeah.
consistency and time in league. I can't go with Lamar Jackson or Patrick Mahomes. Once they
Right.
hit
But
that
they
five,
next though.
they are
They
next. They
next.
got to hit that 5-year mark. Maybe they will be there, but we need
That's
to see
right.
consistency. So, as you were saying, with the most, would you say the decade? What? Um,
Um, talking about for these NFL players.
no, for
Oh, the moment of the
the
decade.
moment
The
of the
moment of the
decade.
decade.
Yeah.
Man, you could talk about all these championships Alabama won over the decade. You could talk about Golden State winning championships. You could talk about what's another moment that happened this decade. I don't know, but when I think of the decade, I think of that 2016 NBA Finals LeBron won when they were down 3-1. That's what I think of. And the moment of that, when he fell to his knees after they won, I fell to my knees. I mean, I've been rocking with LeBron since 03, man, since he got to the league.
Yeah.
So it was a moment for me. It was even sweeter than his first 2 championships in Miami.
Okay, I can see that. I can definitely see that.
I mean, you knock off that 73-9
team, yeah.
Warrior team who beat the Bulls record, and you come back when everybody said y'all was down and out 3-1, and just the performance him and Kyrie put up,
Yeah.
and the block. You think about the block.
The block.
Yeah,
Chase him
and
down,
then
yeah.
the shot. I mean,
yeah.
that's got to be it for me, man. That's it for me, dog.
I like that one. I'm gonna see. I'm gonna go. What? That's crazy. Sorry about that. I don't know what happened or